Hi, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here and share about my business and what's going on at Redemption Market. My name is Rhonda and I am based in Chandler, but I have the shop here in Scottsdale, and also we set up in downtown Phoenix. And Redemption Market is my business, and it is a social enterprise. So basically it's a business for a purpose. What we do is we work with different social justice groups, probably about a dozen different groups, and everything supports a cause. So we started by working with women rescued from trafficking. And so they would make a product, and that product would help fund their rehabilitation programs. So they made purses and jewelry, and we're looking for a partner to sell these things that they made. And at the time, this was about 5 years ago, I was kind of in between careers. I was a Spanish teacher, and then our family decided to adopt a 10-year-old girl from Peru. So I stayed home because I was a Spanish teacher. I taught her and got her up to speed in school and everything, and didn't really feel the desire to go back to teaching. And so I saw online, I don't even remember how it came about, but there was this group based in Cambodia, and they were looking for someone to make the commitment to buy about $100 worth of purses and jewelry and then sell it to their friends, and that would support this business. And I thought, wow, this is something I can do for sure. The products looked really beautiful, and so that's how Redemption Market started. I bought this little box of products, sold it to my friends, and I thought, this is so meaningful. Every single product is bringing hope to a woman who had been in the sex trafficking, trapped in a brothel or a different situation in Asia. And by selling this product, I could bring that woman hope. And I thought, well, I'll buy another box. And that box turned into another box. And that's really how the business started. So I never really sought out to begin a business or to be a business owner. And I saw a need, and I wanted to fill that need. And that's how the business started. So at that point, I decided, well, I need a website, and I need a business name and a business license. So it just kind of grew from there. Yeah, so we work with different groups. It's beautiful because we work directly with the different organizations. So we see the names of the women. We see the progress they're making in their programs. We see the stories of how they came into the situation and what their life is like now. We, in addition to the human trafficking, we also work with refugee programs. So refugees here in the States, we have candles made by refugees, and that helps fund leadership and development, work development programs. We've worked with clean water projects, building schools in developing countries. So it's really fun to find meaningful products that are beautiful and also are supporting a cause at the same time, because we're going to buy cute things anyway, so why not make it mean something? So the organizations that we choose have to fit a couple criteria. Obviously, the purpose behind it has to be meaningful. It has to be very clear that the money is actually going to the program, that there is accountability for that, whether it be a member of the Fair Trade Association or there's a second accountability. So that's the primary criteria. Also, it needs to be a beautiful product. So you could have a great organization, but if the product is kind of shoddy quality, that's obviously no one wants to buy that. And then because we're located in Phoenix, I love to have products with a desert feel. So something that fits into that aesthetic of a neutral palette and beautifully crafted, a beautifully crafted item that also fits where we are. Redemption Market, like I said, started very organically. I bought that first box of products, and from the profits that were left over, I reinvested into the next box. So it kind of grew completely organically. Because I quit my teaching job to stay home, I didn't really want to pull money from our family. I didn't really want to take the time to go out and do fundraising, crowdfunding, all those different things. And so I just grew slowly, kept reinvesting whatever profit was left over. Eventually, I had enough product that I could sell at markets and pop-up shows, different flea markets, have my booth with all the products. And to be honest, it's always been debt-free, and it's always just been a reinvestment. It's a slow growth. I think that not everybody would be content to grow so slowly, but for me, it fit perfectly with my life and my goals at the time, and being home, and kind of this slow, easy life that to me is perfect. So my personal style and my store style, I think, would be kind of what I mentioned about the desert aesthetic. I really love a neutral palette. We have 3 daughters, and all 3, one just graduated college in fashion, and 2 one in business, and then our youngest just started college. But we're all fans of thrifting, so there's always a ton of thrift clothes coming through. My middle daughter actually sells repurposed clothes as a business, so thrifted clothes and everything. And so there's always a ton of thrifted clothes in the house, and we love to mix and match. I love anything ethically made. The challenge is always finding, that good price point of something ethically made. And I think that we rewear outfits a lot of times and get a lot of good use out of everything. I think that, to be honest, there are a lot of businesses really interested in ethical products now. I think there is a movement to know who made the item, where did it come from, how were those workers treated. It used to be, I would say 15 years ago, the most important thing would be, how cheap can I get this dress? If I got this dress at Forever 21 or TJ Maxx and I paid $8, that's the best thing I could find. Now I think people realize that if something is so inexpensive, somewhere along the supply chain, someone was treated very poorly to get that product at such a low price. So I think that it's really important now for people, I think people are interested in seeing, where did this item come from? What does it mean? In my shop, everything either is fair trade, sustainable, ethically made, supports a small business. Like, we have some products made by small women-owned businesses. And so everything has a meaning. Sometimes it's a challenge. I say that would be my biggest challenge, because you can look around and you see other businesses that are, they can buy their things very cheaply and have a huge markup, and there's a lot of margin, a lot of profit margin built into that. For someone with an ethical shop, that margin's really small, so you have to be really careful in what you buy, and you have to continually remember why you started this business. I started this business to help people, not to make a profit. And the profit is great if it's there, but ultimately my success is based on these different organizations being supported by what we do. And it's a challenge. It's really a challenge, because you have to keep your eyes on your own paper, because if you look around and you see, wow, these people making so much profit, but yet if you look at those workers who made those products, their lives are not great. The growth of Redemption Market, because it was slow and organic, there was never that fear, that big leap of jumping into the unknown. There are definitely challenges, like any entrepreneurship venture. It's the roller coaster, that am I doing the right thing? Things are going great. I don't know what I'm doing. And I think you just have to look at each day and say, especially as a solo entrepreneur, to say, okay, how can I move this business forward at least an inch today? Because you have all the different categories. You have your social media and your purchasing product and your website, and there's a lot of different things. And so you kind of have to focus on one area and make sure you do the best you can, and realize when it's just you and you're not a team of people, what can you do to at least make a little bit of progress? Because like they say, slow progress it's still progress. It's still going in the right direction. So it's interesting. I hear this from so many people. 2020 was going so well. Things were so great. And for me and my business, everything was profitable. COVID obviously was something that no one anticipated. But for me, it's been interesting. Most of my sales before the coronavirus hit were made in person. So at our pop-up shops, here at the Mercantile, and then that just kind of went away completely. For me, the beautiful part of 2020 has been to see people gathering around small businesses, supporting small businesses with sales, with words of encouragement. I have never heard so many positive things about my business as I have in the last few months. So people just reaching out, seeing you're okay, supporting when they can. Our online sales really took off, which is a huge blessing, because that has always been an area that's just slow moving, and that was a beautiful thing to see. So even through the hard times, the sense of community that has come about has been a really beautiful part of 2020. My favorite part of being an entrepreneur would just be working for myself. I love being able to set my own schedule, work as much or as little as I want to, see an opportunity and take it, take vacation when I want to. Obviously that has its downside. There's not always a consistent paycheck with that, but I do love the freedom to do other things in my life that I need to do as well. I think if you want to begin any kind of business, especially an ethical business, you really have to know ahead of time what your goal is and work toward that goal. So for me, my goal is to help the people, help these different organizations, but not to kill myself doing it. So I was never a part of the 80-hour-a-week hustle, grind, like kill yourself to make a business grow. But my business has grown slowly because of that. So I think you really need to know, for you personally, what is your goal and work toward that goal, because you can look around and see all these different styles of starting a business, and that doesn't necessarily mean that's for you. I think you have to know the pace that's healthy. I think you have to consider other things in your life. For me, my family is most important, and I would never sacrifice my family life to create a business. The Mercantile, I have to say, is just an answer from heaven. For me, doing pop-up shops, doing craft shows, flea markets, that's great, but that's not really having your own home, your own place to be. And I was definitely looking for something. I really wanted to be part of a shared retail space. I love the collaboration. I love the shared vision of so many businesses working together. I think it's a beautiful thing. And for me, with my little business, I didn't really have the overhead, or the resources rather, to start my own shop, to fund it, to hire, either through money or time. And to be invited here at the Mercantile was just so great. It's been wonderful for my business to present my products to a different audience, to just meet new people and share the joys of doing business together. It's been really beautiful. If I could change anything in the world pertaining to, I'm going to bring it back to my business, I would love to see people really think about the products that they purchase and know that everything comes from somewhere. So someone made whatever it is, whether it's your handbag or wallet or jewelry, there's someone behind that, and to really think about that person and the beauty of the craftsmanship and really take good care of what you have, make it last, treat it well, buy meaningful things. I think that part of everything that's happening in 2020 is making people a little more aware of things. I think it's been beautiful for people to wake up and look around and recognize diversity and recognize meaningful things in life. And I think that is an important part of life. And I think that if we would slow down and just appreciate the beauty in things, it would probably mean a lot. It's just me, so it's easy to find me. I'm Rhonda. I'm the founder. Right now, it's just me working on the business. A lot of times my daughters help me, but if you want to connect and work together, I'd love that.